Hi, namaste, and welcome to yoga. My name is Kirsten. Today we're going to do yoga for strength, and I'll tell you why. So I've got these affirmation cards, and I was thinking I might use them in some of our practices just to give kind of a theme and an idea to hang on to throughout the practice. And today's card says, "I am strong and powerful." So today's practice is going to really give us a chance to embody that feeling of being strong and powerful. And, it's not going to be overly difficult at all. This is still, beginner practice. Everybody's welcome, but it will really help us tune into our inner power. So with that, let's get started. So let's find a comfortable seated position to start. Allow the eyes to close, maybe rest the hands on the knees. And start to settle into your space. So we're just going to start with a little meditation, actually, to center ourselves. Feeling the points where your seat comes in contact with the floor. Feeling very grounded and sturdy. The strength of the earth supporting you. Feel the crown of the head grow tall toward the ceiling. The strength of the spine holding up your head in perfect alignment. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe give the shoulders a little roll just to really relax them away from the ears. And bring attention to the breath. Notice the inhale coming in through the nose and the exhale going out the nose. And we'll just stay with this in silence for a few breaths, so keeping the attention on the inhale and the exhale. And start to bring attention back into the room. Lengthen the inhale and lengthen the exhale. And you can allow the eyes to start to open and drop the chin to the chest. Roll left ear to left shoulder and right ear to right shoulder. Roll back through center, chin to chest, kind of rolling back and forth, left to right. And come back to neutral, looking forward. Roll the shoulders back, really opening up the fronts of the shoulders. And reverse. Good. Bring the arms out to a T. Reaching the fingers really wide in either direction. Now point the fingers down toward the ground. Stretch along the tops of the arms. Good, turn the fingers up toward the ceiling, pressing away. Stretch on the bottoms of the arms. Good, now flap your wings a little bit. Release those arms, maybe shake out the wrists. Good, we're going to do some breath of fire, which is a really good warming up breath. So bring your hand to your belly. You can even bring both hands to your belly if you'd like. And what we're going to do, so the way a breath of fire works, is we're going to do a really sharp exhale through the nose. So take air in and then go, really kind of blowing that air out through your nose. And then as we do that forceful exhale, we don't do anything on the inhale, we just allow it to kind of refill the body with air. It should automatically happen. So what we're going to do is a quick, short, forceful exhale, and then allow the inhale to come in. And let's do that just 5 times. Ready? Good, and then come back to a normal breath. Let's do it again. When you're ready, 5 times. Inhale, and breath of fire. And return to a normal breath. Last time, last set of just 5. Ready, inhale, and breath of fire. And return to a normal breath. Good. Sometimes people will do breath of fire for longer, not just 5 breaths, but kind of just keep going for quite a bit, and it can be a little intense, so we're just going to stick with that for now, but it's a good way to warm up. Excellent. All right, we're going to walk our hands forward along the floor, so come into a forward fold, drop the nose down toward the toes. Walk the hands toward your body, come back up to a seat. Drop the right hand to the mat, left arm comes up and over, side stretch. Good, come back up, walk both hands behind you, lean back, open the front of the shoulders, gaze up toward the ceiling. Walk your hands back up and left hand down, right arm over, side stretch. So we're stretching to all 4 directions of the compass. And come back up to a seat. Let's do the same, opposite direction. So walk the hands forward, drop the nose. Back up to a seat, left hand down, right arm over, side stretch. Come back up, hands behind you, look up toward the ceiling. Good, come up and right hand down, left arm over, side. Come back up to a seat. Bring the arms nice and wide again. We're going to cross the right arm on top of the left. Give yourself a big bear hug. Or maybe bring your arms into eagle, so we're going to allow the arms to continue to wrap around each other. Fingertips can maybe touch, or fingertips to palm. Good stretch in the back, upper back, shoulder area. If anything pulls, just back off. Go back to the bear hug. Good. Nice deep inhales and exhales. And raise the elbows up and away from your body just a little bit more. And release that. Eagle arms on the other side, so reach nice and wide. Cross the left over the right this time. Again, bear hug or eagle arms. Raise the elbows up and away. And release the arms. All right, we'll make our way up to all fours to do some cat and cow. So round the back, drop the nose toward the floor, drop the tailbone toward the floor, cat stretch. And now arch the back, looking forward, cow. And round the back, exhale, cat. And arch the back, look forward, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale. And inhale. And come back to neutral tabletop. Straighten the left leg out behind you. You can stay here if this is enough balance, or maybe bring the opposite arm, so the right arm out in front. Bird dog. Thumb is faced up toward the ceiling. Toes are dialed down toward the floor. Gaze is on the mat, just a few inches in front of your hand. Good, no switching sides. Plant the right hand and the left foot back on the ground. Straighten the right leg and left arm. And come back to tabletop. Good, now switch back to the first side, so straighten the left leg and the right arm. And then we'll draw the knee and the elbow together in a crunch. So rounding the spine, knee to elbow, and stretch. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, stretch. And come back to hands and knees. Other side, straighten the right leg and left arm. And crunch. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, stretch. And exhale, crunch. Inhale, stretch. And come back to tabletop. Press the hips all the way back, sit back on the heels, walk the hands forward, drop the forehead to the floor, child pose. Back up to tabletop. Now tuck the toes, lift the hips all the way up, downward facing dog. Nod the head yes, shake the head no, release the neck. Maybe pedal out the legs. Good, and come back to Stillness. Dropping the heels toward the floor. Pressing the fingertips into the mat really strong. Pressing the weight out of the wrists. And now walk the feet forward to meet the hands. I'm going to raise halfway, flat back, look forward. And drop the head down again, forward fold. Now really slowly we'll roll the spine all the way up to stand. Asana, mountain pose. And sun salutation A. So lift the arms up overhead, look up toward the ceiling, and drop the arms all the way down, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back into plank. And now lower knees, chest, and chin, chaturanga all the way down to the floor. Pressing with the hands into the floor, press the upper body off the floor for a little cobra, and come back down. Tuck the toes. Lift all the way up into downward dog so you can move through tabletop, and then lift the hips and come into downward facing dog. And step forward with the feet between the hands. Half lift, flat back, look forward. Drop the hands, drop the head, fold. Roll the spine, come all the way up to stand. Tadasana. Good, once again, arms overhead, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, look forward. And exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back into plank, inhale. And exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, come back down. Tuck the toes, inhale. And exhale, press all the way up to downward facing dog. And hold. Step forward between the hands, flat back, half lift, and forward fold. And roll the spine, come all the way up to stand. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Good, one more time. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back into plank. And lower chaturanga. Press up into cobra. And come back down. Tuck the toes. Lift all the way up to downward facing dog and hold for 5 breaths. Step forward between the hands. Half lift, flat back, and fold. Roll the spine, come all the way up to stand. Mountain pose. Sun salutation B. So sit back like you're sitting into a chair. Arms come forward and up, counterbalance. You're gonna drop the hands, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, look forward. And exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back into plank, and lower chaturanga. Cobra. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Now step forward between the hands with the right foot. Plant the left foot to about 45 degrees. Swoop the arms forward and up, warrior one. Nice deep bend into the front leg, 90 degrees. Looking forward over the knee. And drop the hands to frame the foot. Step back to plank, chaturanga, cobra, and downward dog. Step forward between the hands with the left foot. Raise the arms, warrior one. Drop the hands to frame the foot. Step back to a plank, lower chaturanga, cobra, and downward dog. And hold for 5 breaths. And step forward between the hands. Sit back into chair. And come up to stand, Tadasana, mountain pose. All right, we'll do sun salutation B 2 more times. So just go with the flow. So sit back into chair. And forward fold. Flat back, half lift, look forward. And fold again. Step back into plank. Lower chaturanga. Cobra. Tuck the toes. Downward dog. Step forward between the hands with the right foot. Warrior one. Drop the hands, step back to plank, chaturanga, cobra, and downward dog. Step forward left, warrior one. Drop the hands, step back to plank, chaturanga, cobra, and downward dog, 5 breaths. Step forward between the hands. Sit back into chair. And stand. One more time, sit back into chair. And forward fold. Flat back. And forward fold. Plank. Chaturanga. Cobra. And downward dog. Step forward right. Warrior one. Drop the hands. Step back to plank. Chaturanga. Cobra. And downward dog. Step forward left, warrior one. Drop the hands, step back to plank, chaturanga, cobra, and downward dog. Really noticing the feeling of strength, dropping the heels into the ground, noticing the breath probably quickening, heat building in the muscles, fingertips press strong into the mat, tailbone lifts strong toward the ceiling. And step forward with the feet. Sit back into chair and stand Tadasana, mountain pose. Now bring the feet to about hip width apart, hands on the hips. And we're going to hinge forward at the waist, reaching down for the shins, the ankles, maybe even grabbing the big toes with peace fingers. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, fold nose to knees. And on the next inhale, look forward, flat back. And then on the next exhale, see if you can reach a little bit farther. We'll go back into a forward fold. So if you're on the shins, maybe see if we can reach for the ankles. Ankles, maybe reach for the toes. Toes, maybe put all 10 fingers under all 10 toes or stand on the palms and forward fold. Good, release the hands, bring the hands back to the hips, and slowly come back up to stand. Head is the last thing to come up. Good, now take a big step back with the left foot, warrior two. So the same feet as warrior one, right leg is bent to 90 degrees, but the arms come out to face front and back. Gaze over the right fingertips. Warrior two. Good, now we're just going to pivot to the other direction. So straighten the legs, pivot the feet around to the left, bend the left leg, warrior two on the left. Good, straighten the legs, bring the hands to the waist, keep the legs nice and wide, toes turn in just a little bit, heels out, and hinge at the waist, forward fold with wide legs, reaching for the floor. If the floor isn't accessible, maybe just rest your hands on your legs. Now walk the hands over to the left leg, nose to knee. And walk the hands over to the right. Alright, from this right side, start to turn the feet to face the short edge of the mat. Bring the right foot back to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Good, drop the knees to the floor. And untuck the toes, press the hips back, and child pose. come up to tabletop. We'll move into a forearm plank. So nice strong posture. Come down onto the elbows and straighten the legs behind you. So this is the forearm plank. Nice straight line all the way from the crown of the head to the heels. If you want to rest on the knees, lift the feet up, that's fine too. Have a nice strong core, nice strong plank either way. Hold and keep breathing. Good, drop the knees. Now this time, walk the knees all the way wide on the mat. Keep the feet wide as well, and press the hips back for a frog stretch. And come back up to hands and knees. Tabletop, walk the knees to about hip width apart. All right, we're going to move into a side plank. So straighten the legs behind you. And we're going to turn to look over the left shoulder. Shift the heels to the right. Lift the left arm up. The side plank. If this is too strong on the wrist, you can always bend that right knee, rest on the knee and the hand. Gaze up toward the ceiling. If you can, straighten both legs, give it a try. Good, drop the left hand and we'll switch sides. So drop the heels over to the left, lift the right arm. Once again, you can bend the left knee for support or straighten that leg. The right hand, come back to tabletop. Walk the knees nice and wide as the mat. This time bring the big toes together. Press the hips back for a wide child pose. And back up to hands and knees. And we'll walk our way down to lie on the belly on the mat. We'll bring the hands right underneath the shoulders. Big toes together, legs all the way together. And using the hands, gently press the upper body off the mat. Baby Cobra. Really using strength in the back, not just pressing with the arms, but using the back muscles to help lift. Good, and come down. Release the hands, drop the right cheek to the mat and rest. And use the hands to press up. We're going to move into a Sphinx pose. So resting on the elbows, hands straight in front of you, looking forward at the floor, maybe a couple of feet in front of you, big toes nice and close together, Sphinx pose. Keep breathing, feeling a stretch, feeling strength and stretch at the same time. If this is too strong, feel free to go back into a baby cobra. And release the hands. by your sides, and this time put the left cheek on the floor to rest. Use the hands to press partway up. Alright, keeping the hands for support underneath the shoulders. Lift both feet off the mat. You can even rest the forehead on the mat if that's more comfortable. And maybe bring the hands by your sides, palms face down. Locust. And release the legs. And turn the right cheek to the mat and rest. Good, come back up. Now lift just the right foot off the mat and the left arm. So opposite arm and leg, half boat. And release the arm and the leg. Turn the left cheek to the mat, arms by the sides, and rest. Alright, other side, so lift the left leg off the mat, right arm comes forward and up, half boat. Really feeling strength all through the back, side body. Good, release, right cheek to the mat and rest. Alright, last one, we'll do a full boat pose. So both feet come up off the mat and both arms reach forward. I also call this one Superman. Hold, 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 really strong through the back and shoulders. Good, and release. Left cheek to the mat and rest. And bring the hands under the shoulders. And we'll press up to hands and knees. And now your choice. So we're going to go into a child pose. You can either do, press straight back into child. You could do wide knees, toes together for a wide child, or if you like that frog stretch, bring the feet just as wide as the mat also, and press the hips back for a child or a frog stretch. And come back up to all fours. And now make your way in your own time to lie on your back. So just swivel over, lie back. Now hug both knees into the chest and just rock back and forth a little bit, pressing that low back into the mat. We did a lot of strengthening with the back muscles, so let's really give it a chance to relax, counter stretch. Good. Now bring the hands to the mat, and we're going to just do some little dips with the feet. So from here, press the low back into the floor. So make sure you can't fit your hand underneath the low back. It's nice and tight into the floor. All right, bring the hands by the sides, palms down, and very slowly drop your toes toward the floor. If at any moment this lower back springs up and you feel a space under there, just stop. That's as far as you want to go today. If you can keep that low back pressed into the floor, come all the way down to touch the floor with the toes, and then nice and slow, come back up to a crunch. Good, again, press the low back into the floor, nice and strong, and touch the toes, and bring the knees back up. One more, drop the toes, really make sure that low back is pressed into the floor, and bring the knees back up. Excellent. Hug the knees in. Now straighten the left leg, just keep that right knee bent, and you can massage it back and forth, massaging the internal organs on the right side. Good, now take that knee nice and wide, so press it out to the right side. You can really open your left arm to the left side if you've got space, or just maybe a cactus arm like I'm doing, looking over the left shoulder, open twist. Good, now opposite, take that knee, cross it over the body to the left, looking over the right shoulder for a closed twist. Come back to center. Good, gently release that knee, straighten the right leg, and bend the left. Hug the left knee in. Rock that leg back and forth, massaging the left internal organs. Go ahead and drop the left knee out to the left, open twist, looking over the right shoulder. And cross the knee over the body to the right. Close twist. Look over the left shoulder. Good, come back to center. Hug both knees in. If it feels comfortable on your back, you can lift the head and shoulders up. Bring that nose toward the knees. Really tight ball, hugging everything together. And slowly relax everything back down to the floor. And straighten the legs along the mat. Open the palms toward the ceiling, arms by the sides. Walk the shoulder blades down the back, opening up the fronts of the shoulders, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Option for Shavasana, you can bend the knees if you prefer, bring the feet nice and wide, and knock the knees together for constructive rest. Or straighten the legs. We'll move into Shavasana, final rest. Really taking this time. Don't get up and leave early. This is important time to let the muscles have a moment to recover and relax and just integrate all the work that we've done today. We have been really making them do what they do and move the way muscles move. So now let's give them a little bit of stillness and rest. Starting to bring awareness back into the room. Starting to deepen the inhale and lengthen the exhale. Bring some gentle movement into the fingers and toes. Start to roll the wrists and the ankles one direction and the other. And reach the arms up overhead. Big full body stretch all the way from toes to fingers. And roll over onto one side or the other. Pause for just a moment. And use the arms to press up to a seat. Bring the hands to either rest on the knees or palms can come together at heart center. Remember, I am strong, I am powerful. You are strong, you are powerful. Thank you for being here today, and be well. Namaste.